wrestling, stay for the chaos. Hot takes flying, yeah, you already know this. From the ring to the real, we talking that truth. Laughs get loud when the crew cut loose. It's a cookout, where the takes stay hot and the game stay wild. The cookout, wrestling talk with that family style. The cookout, 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 cookout. Come for the wrestling, stay for the chaos. Workhorse Wrestling Network, let's go! With ALW, CM, Sammy, and Anika. Hot topics cooking, no chaser, no filter. Fire games popping, debates get reckless. If you ready for the madness, then pull up a seat. Workhorse Wrestling Network, this is the cookout.
Hello, yes. So welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us here for another episode of the Cookout podcast. It is Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It is the 17th of March. We are on 2 days after, 2.5 days, 3 days after, I guess, Revolution from Saturday night, correct? So, lots has happened. If you're new to the Workhorse Wrestling Network channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, hit that bell to be notified. That's the best way to make sure that you get a notification every time we put something up on the YouTube channel. If you're with us on Twitch, give us a follow over there. We appreciate each and every one of you wherever you're tuning in from, or whenever you tune in. You can always catch this on replay. Dolores will post the audio version later at some point too, so you can check that out as well. Let's see. Normally on the Cookout, we start off with the Clown of the Week. Does Anika have a Clown of the Week?
Oh.
Welcome, Miss Anika. How you doing tonight, Miss Anika?
I am good. How about you? I don't have to work this tonight. It was in the morning, so listen. That's a win-win, even though it's spring break and y'all trying to hurt me. What about you? Are you good?
Yeah, all good, all good. I was in California last week visiting some family, but I'm back and at it again. So.
Okay.
Do you have a Clown of the Week?
I do, and I'll reveal it during our review.
Okay. So, without further ado, I don't think we need to review the whole show, but let's do it this way. What did you think was the most important thing from Revolution? If you had to pick one thing, what was the most important thing that took place during Revolution?
Stakes wise,
whatever. Match wise,
I'm just
wise, outcome wise, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
so a lot of stuff did happen that was of importance, but my mind goes to this dumb behind trope of Hangman lost and he can never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's like, did we not learn anything from Cody Rhodes? Now, there's a difference, right? At least Hangman won things twice. So at least you got to see him be champion twice. With Cody, he never won it. So it's like, that was probably worse. Because it's like, at least win it once, bro. Like, you didn't even win it once. But we're only 5 years into this company. And honestly, premature thinking, whatever you want to call it, I see AEW lasting. I see AEW being here for another 10 years, another 20 years, and so on and so forth. So, and Hangman, he is just hitting 30. So, yeah, it's like, people are like, okay, maybe he'll turn heel and that's what he does. Like, no! Yes and no. I hate these kind of stipulations. I get it to make the match hotter, but I hate them because no matter how you break it, you broke it. So it's like, so why even do it, right? So it's like, so that was probably the main thing for me. It's like, now the flip side of it is we get to see crazy Hangman again, because it's like lost soul Hangman, don't know who I am Hangman, Drunk Hangman? Yes, yes, because Drunk Hangman is the best one. I think y'all can agree. Drunk Hangman is the best. Is the most interesting Hangman, in my opinion. But so yeah, that was probably the most important thing to happen at Revolution for me. What about you?
So just on that real quick, I think it's interesting because like I was a little surprised that Hangman didn't win. I thought that Hangman would probably win. If you had asked me to
Yeah,
predict, who I thought was going to win, I probably would have picked Hangman. That being said, MJF winning isn't, out of the realm of possibility in any way, shape, or form. And the match itself was
no.
phenomenal. So,
Hmm.
MJF is one of the better wrestlers, in the world right now. So him being champion is fine. I don't like the stipulation either, but here's the thing, right? It's either not going to last or there are other titles, right? So and Tony Khan craves that or desires that those titles are all equal in some regard, right? So there are other titles that Hangman can win. And I don't think it's going to be forever anyhow. There'll be something that comes up down the road where somehow he beats MJF or and removes that stipulator, removes that whatever. He's going to end up competing for that title again at some point before he's done wrestling in AEW. I just really believe that. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff that happened, man. Um, I think for me, even though I knew it was coming, I think the most impactful thing on a day-to-day basis for AEW, because of who he is, because of his age, because he's still right in the prime of his career, is probably the return of Will Ospreay on a regular basis. I think that's
Osprey, Osprey.
the big thing. I
Yeah,
mean, the return of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage is a big deal. I think it's a big deal because I think for us that are older and remember them, we get to see some nostalgia, we get to feel some nostalgia. And I think it'll be good for the tag team division. But I think as a whole, for AEW, just going forward, the legs on Will Ospreay coming back are much longer or much greater than they are on Copeland Christian.
yeah,
That being said, I popped really hard when Christian came back. I mean, obviously it was Copeland's music that hit first, but I knew that they were both coming. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. What was the down part was the least.
Oh, look up. So about that. So that's the good thing. So this card was a good card from top to bottom. So like it like the down part. When I say the down part, it was like it was bad. It was just the least on the card. But this card throughout was really good. It's like if you are a AW fan and you truly just want to watch good wrestling, this was a good card. Um, the downside, because it's so unpredictable, and I'm gonna give her the clown of the week is Ronda Rousey showing up in AEW. That is my clown of the week. Cause look, I like okay, it's such a like her wrestling career, even though majority of it was in WE, is such a wild ride of what is going on? Who are you? Basically, the first round was good, solid. I think that's because they kind of set her up well. The second round wasn't that good because it's like talk about somebody who can't take criticism. Talk about someone who can't take booze. It's like you do realize you're a character. They're not booing you personally. It's just a you take something up personally to the point where you're breaking the fourth wall, and she was like, hey, slow up. So, but then in her book, she was like a WWE's the crap show. Everyone like most like Richard over there sucks, and she's not wrong. But either way, but either way, her coming to AEW is so unpredictable. And then when she came out, there were some boos, and I will say this: I'm not sure, like she did help out Marina Shafir. So, like, are the boos because of Marina Shafir and she's a heel, or is the boos because it's Ronda Rousey? And it's just like this is one of those sign like, and like we don't even know if she's signed. Rumors right now that she's not officially all elite is because she actually is doing a fight. Like, what the freak? You're going back to you're going back to UFC? What the freak, bro? And so all of this is so crazy and it's so under and like and I say she's crown of the week because usually when someone this big comes back or debuts, it's like yay, then maybe later boo. But for you to come back and it's like, huh? It's so like, bruh, we got some things to do. And hopefully she'll be able to accept criticism and if she is coming back to wrestle, like, hey, let's try to let's try to scrub your narrative. Let's try to rebuild you and try to do something new. Or if not, it's to say, listen, I don't need AEW. Like we saw how the CM Punk coming in worked out for them, right? We don't need another version of that coming to AEW. And unfortunately, that might be Ronda. We're just like we don't it's like the ego is there, so it is like, all right, we've already learned our lesson. Let's not redo history, okay? Let's put this on the leash. So that's why she's my clown of the week.
No, I tend to agree with that. When she came out, I was very surprised. We already basically have one MMA fighter that doesn't wrestle very well in AEW, and Marina Shafir. Now, that being said, I agree with you. My down part was Ronda Rousey coming out too. My second down part, and I want to get back to, I'll come back to Ronda Rousey in just a minute, but my second down part was I thought it was weird to have Willow beat Lena Cross in the pre-show to retain the TBS title, but then the two of them lose the tag team titles on the main card. I thought it was just odd booking to me. It just seems weird. So, I mean, to do double duty, like both these women, especially Willow, are at the point where we don't need to be doing double duty. Like, why are you wrestling? I understand you have two titles, but you're in a position where you shouldn't be wrestling two matches on the same night. And in regards to the same woman too. So I thought the whole thing was kind of odd, just odd booking. I don't have any problem with them dropping the titles per se. I mean, I do because I like Willow and Harley. I understand the desire to keep them moving and put it on something different. I get that. I just thought it was weird booking to have Willow beat Lena Cross earlier in the night and then the two of them lose later in the evening. But it is what it is. That being said, Ronda coming was still the down part. And the worst part about Ronda coming was I thought she blew. Okay, didn't blow it. I thought I don't want to say ruined it because the match was over, but I thought that her coming out dampened what was a really, really good match. This to me, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, this was Marina Shafir's first big singles match on a major pay-per-view where she had to do something and just kind of come in and actually hold her own. And I thought she did a really good job. I was very impressed with her. I've been highly critical of her in the ring, and I thought that she looked very good. So in that regard, I thought that match was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be bad. I was ready for it to be bad because Marina Shafir has been clunky at best. But I thought the match came off really, really good. The only thing I would say is that she has a little bit too much maybe strong style in her style. Like she needs to show a little bit more reaction to moves. I think you got to sell a little
Yeah,
bit more, right? But beyond that, I thought she looked really good. And then the Ronda Rousey stuff ruined it for me because I don't like Ronda Rousey and I don't know what she's really doing there. Marina
yeah,
Shafir doesn't need Ronda Rousey. I mean, Marina Shafir is the muscle for John Moxley and the Death Riders. Why does she need Ronda Rousey, right? Like, so the whole thing is just kind of odd to me. And especially if Ronda's not here, but for one match, that's even odder. Or if it's just here to hype up the fight that she's having, even
yeah.
weirder. So, and just the association with Ronda Rousey leaves a bad taste in my mouth because she is not a very good person. So for
Good.
AEW to associate themselves with her, yeah, it leaves me a little, I'm not super happy about that. So,
Like I said, it is what it is, and we get why she's there. It's like, yeah, like y'all really couldn't get Shayna Baszler. Like, we're like, dang it! Like, why did you like? Come on, Shayna, get out of NXT. Just come over here real quick. Well, dang it! But no, I totally
yeah.
agree with you. And this match is a testament of you can like the whole notion that wrestling has to be one thing needs to go out the window. Whereas, that part was just like, oh, so this is the new era. Everyone has to go 20 minutes. You gotta be a high flyer and just grab it. Like, no. So let everyone play their part. This is perfect. Like, listen, I I know, like, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna go back and watch the Goldberg matches because leave the memories alone. Don't change a thing. But in the moment, Goldberg just going through people for 3 minutes and he's like, who's next? That was on point. Yes. We all know. Like, does he need to go 10 minutes? No. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, like everyone should have their place. And I love that they crack like, okay, Maria Shafir, she's strong pal. We don't need to go, we don't need to go 10 minutes. Let's just hit it and quit it and just the perfect like, yes, perfect. Yes, let's go.
I tend to agree with you. I mean, I think that's very true. Not everybody has to be 20 or 30-minute wrestlers. Not every match has to be 20 or 30 minutes. In fact, a lot of times, and I understand they're pay-per-view matches, and I understand that these are, supposedly the matches that are pitting the best of the best. They're for titles, all those things. A lot of them, the reason that your pay-per-view is 5 hours is because you have 10 matches that all go 30 minutes, right? They don't all need to go 30 minutes. That being said, how did you feel when it was all said and done and John Moxley had defeated Takeshita again? I know you had to be disappointed.
It it was like this was very hard for me personally because I love them both. I love them both. But my money was on Takeshita. I did want him to change the guard. I did want him to finally get pushed. Like it's like okay, it's like it feels like we haven't really pushed Takeshita like that in AEW, which is crazy. Cause like he did beat Kenny twice, but we didn't treat it. We didn't treat him like he beat 20 Kenny. Like I say, Kenny Omega. We didn't treat him like he beat Kenny Omega twice. So it's like, what do we have to do to push the cat down? But so this was tied into Osprey coming back. This was so let's do the whole segment. It's it. The customer Barkley was great. I I say this. It's like I finally get how John Cena fans felt when he was on top and everybody was booing him. John Moxley is my John Cena. We're just like, I don't have John
Uh,
Moxley fatigue. He's not on top. So what do y'all want? Y'all just want him to disappear? No, boo y'all. Unlike
uh,
Chris Jericho, he's actually doing great matches. So I want to enjoy my John Moxley. That being said, this was a great match. No shenanigans. No, I want to say shenanigans. No Death Riders. No blood. No bloody mouth. I love bloody Moxley, but it is great to see. Oh, this was a straight up wrestling match, and it didn't suck. Yay! I did want to catch it to win, but I get it because this is when Will Ospreay returned, and it makes sense story wise because story wise, he got taken out by the Death Riders. It was blood and guts, and the Death Riders beat up his neck. But it is like, hey, there is a story of we were changing the Death Riders a little bit to good guys. So it is kind of like, how are we gonna do? Okay, more so John Moxley, where he's not the evil bastard that he was last year. So it's like, so how is this gonna work? Are we? I think we should have a conversation on Dynamite because he isn't the same John Moxley, and I'm not sure if this will go well of how this match is gonna go. So it's kind of crazy. Um, so I'll ask you this real quick, right? Like I said, it makes sense of this is how Will Ospreay returns, but do you have an idea of another way we have Will Ospreay come back? Because it's like it makes sense, but
coming
like
back
not right
here is
now.
fine. I think Osprey coming back here is fine, and it makes sense for him to go after Moxley. I just don't understand why that has to translate into Takeshita losing again to Moxley. You know, I mean, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, Osprey and Moxley don't need the belt, or Osprey chasing Moxley and having to run through the Death Riders to get to Moxley, whatever that looks like, doesn't need the belt. And Takeshita needs a belt at the moment, in my opinion. Not needs a belt, but he should have a belt. And Moxley's had a belt long enough. It doesn't matter what belt it's been for the last year and a half. Moxley has basically had a belt in some way, shape, or form. I mean, whether it was a AEW World Championship, whether it was the Trios Championship for a little while. whether it was and now it's the Continental Championship, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, I mean, he's at a time, and I get he's Moxley, and I get he's top of the food chain and all those things. I just, Takeshita, like you said, Takeshita is extremely hot at the moment. I mean, he's a G1 champion, and it feels like they don't want to pull the trigger on him in AEW, and it seems odd to me. I think I think a defeat here of John Moxley and taking that championship from him should have been that first real push, but it is what it
yeah,
is. We'll see. I mean, Osprey coming back, Osprey versus Moxley. I'm here for that. I'm here for Osprey, having to take out the Death Riders. John Moxley's definitely having a crisis of or an identity crisis is what I meant to say. He's not,
yeah,
he can't decide whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, right? Like at moments he's been doing more face things recently and acting kind of less heelish, but he's still the leader of the Death Riders, which is a heel faction, right? And he still
yeah.
ultimately does some heel stuff here and there. So, the whole thing is very interesting. I'm not sure, but I just don't understand why Takeshita. If you want to, you can bring Osprey back even with Takeshita winning, in my opinion. I mean, I don't, I'm not sure why one begets the other. I just think it's time for Takeshita to have a title, a major
Yeah.
AEW title. So
And let's finally do him versus Okada. I like it wasn't like that's the whole like why are we gonna do this match? Yes or no? Like why are we like it's like oh no, it's long term. Okay, long term story booking. All right, that's the reason why I don't have Kenny versus Daniel a definitive freaking winner and in the freaking draw because y'all think I had time. Like, come on.
what do you think about Jack Perry, the new AEW national champion, beating Ricochet? I thought it was okay. Let me put it this way: I thought the battle royal was fun. I thought it was fun. I don't have a problem with Jack Perry being the title holder here. I think that's fine. I mean, it's a good spot for
Yeah.
Jack Perry. I did at least like that him and Ricochet were the final two, so that even though it wasn't necessarily Ricochet losing that title in a straight up one-on-one wrestling match, at least at the end it was one-on-one, and Jack did eliminate the existing champion to win that title. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Ricochet didn't have it very long, but Tony Khan's not big on leaving titles on people for a very long time. So that's not something that's been, something he's done in AEW so far. So, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. Jungle Jack Perry is your new AEW national champion. What do you think?
This is fine. This title sucks though. This title sucks. It really is. Like, what are we doing with this title? It was cool how they did it, where it went from 0 hour to the main one. So it's like, hey, you want to see the ending? Buy the pay per view. I appreciate that. I thought it needed more heat, if that made more sense. We're just like, yeah, like you said, this was fun, but it wasn't like, oh, this match will make me buy the paper. This match is gonna make me buy like we call it spend $50 to watch the rest of this match. It's just like ah. They've been teasing Jack versus Ricochet for a minute, and like I said, it was fine. It was fine. It was unfortunately, because there weren't no big surprises for the Battle Royal, it was like, okay, it's gonna be Ricochet or Jack. I didn't think anyone else was gonna win, so like it was fine.
I thought there were a couple matches on this card that probably could have been on a Dynamite. I thought the trios match with Roderick Strong and Cassidy and Darby Allin versus the Dogs was a fine match, but I thought that could have been on a Dynamite. I'm
Real
not sure why
quick,
that had to be a Revolution.
boo! Especially if the Dogs are, y'all do realize this is a new group. Like they get to win something. Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing? Roderick Strong, OC, and Darby did not need this win. They didn't. And it's like
Yeah.
y'all do realize this was what pissed me off about AEW the beginning couple of years. People thought, oh, because if AEW is a almost like a spinoff of New Japan, y'all should know who's New Japan. No, that ain't the case. And people from New Japan still need a big debut. So it's like y'all really let the Dogs lose. It's like what? Like what? What? did they cut somebody's mama out or something? Why can't they not get a win?
Yeah. Um, so I thought that match could have been on a Dynamite. It didn't have to be a Revolution. I'm also not totally sure why Andrade versus Bandito is at Revolution, especially if we're not changing the titles. So if Andrade's going to win, why is he not the champion? Win, it should be a title shot, right? Like, if you're going to put it
Yeah,
on Revolution, first of all, it's a Ring of Honor title. If you're going to put it on Revolution and you're going to have Andrade win, at least have it be for the title. That's my opinion. So I thought that was very odd. Secondly, I thought this could have been on a Collision or on a Dynamite. Not to take away from it. It just didn't feel like it felt like the card could have been a little bit smaller and they could have had less. It seemed like there were a couple filler matches.
that was definitely that's always the AEW criticism. But I don't think it'll ever change. We're just like it goes like you don't need all of these matches. Why is it so long? I don't think they'll ever change. I appreciate them wanting to feel like you got the $50, but it's like let's remember the WWE when they had reviews in the '90s. It was $40, but it was only 4 hours. It was from 8 to 12. The replay was at 12. You set your VCR to record it, and that was it. That was it. But so it's like
Yeah.
we're going over 4 hours. It's like you don't have to go over 4 hours. It's like just to give some good ones. That was the match. Like everyone anticipated the match of how good it was going to be. So I wasn't that mad at it. It did feel like it was going like I think that it's more so the pace of the card, where it is like after Will Ospreay wins, it feels like okay. I think you have to sense when the crowd's gonna get antsy. Like, listen, we want the main event now. We don't want no more. We don't want another match that doesn't make and it doesn't make no sense. But there are no stakes. Like there's like this is literally people are like I want a match on Revolution. You versus me. Like there's no story here.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see what else. FTR retains the championship. What was your favorite match? What was your match of the night? We talked about your moment of the night, the most important thing that happened at Revolution. What about your match of the night?
My match of the night. Um, it probably was the Takeshita versus Moxley, because like out of everyone on the card, that's the one that I was most invested in. Where it was like I am a fan of these two. I want to see something different. I want to see the changing of the guard. That's like that was probably my match of the night because I was the most invested. That was one of my problems with this card is that it was kind of predictable. Like for me personally, it hoping for something different and what's the word? And expect, but knowing what to expect are two different things. Or yeah, let me explain further. Use your words better, Anika. It's more so like I can hope that Hangman wins, but I was expecting MJF to win. Now, like I said, that's why Takeshita and Moxley were my match of the night. I was hoping for Takeshita to win, but if I had to bet money on it, it's for some reason they don't want Moxley to not have this belt, and it's just like I hope that like you said, I hope they not to put the belt on Will Ospreay because boo for what for who, but everything else was just like it's fine. Going back to XCR and the Young Bucks. This is only this is the fifth time they faced each other, and it was fine. But it is like we they kind of I don't say run the feud to the ground, but they did overdo it too early. Where it's just like y'all should have hyped another tag team up to kind of stretch this feud out, where it could be like Okada versus Kenny, and every time Okada and Kenny go in the ring, it's just like so they over exasperated FTR and Young Bucks, where you don't have that oh shoot when they're together anymore, in my opinion, or just like it's not oh shoot like dang it really felt like that. and everything else, like I said, and everything else on the card was emotionally invested in. So that's probably my issue with the whole card. But like I said, Young Bucks and FTR, if you love wrestling, just wrestling, it was great. Um, it makes sense for FTR to win it because they're going up against Christian and uh Adam Copeland. But again, when you know what the census is, it's like okay, fine, do what you gotta do. That's what it feels like. This whole card, like okay, fine, do what you gotta do for the future. That's my feeling on the thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I I thought there was a lot of good stuff that happened. For me, I want to say that the Bucks versus FTR was probably the funnest match. I thought it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
funnest. It had the best spots. It had the most where I was like, oh. And then when Christian and Cage came out, or when Christian and Copeland came out, that popped me for sure. So I was excited about that. Um, I For me, I thought that Decla and Stat was very good. I thought they really gave us a really good performance for
I
a women's world championship match. I liked the 2 out of 3 falls. So they get an honorable mention, not as match of the night, but they get an honorable mention because I thought they did a really, really good job. And the same thing about Tony Storm and Marina Shafir. I think they deserve a little bit of recognition just because
mm,
I wasn't expecting much from Marina, and I think that she far exceeded my expectations. That match was a lot better than I think it had any business being, or than I thought it was going to be. Um, but yeah, I mean, probably match of the night was probably Moxley and Takeshita. I mean, I don't really. I mean, it was the best wrestling match of the night for sure, as far as just wrestling goes. And other than the disappointing part about, and it's never disappointing that Moxley wins. Moxley's a man. I love John Moxley. Never want to say it's disappointing when he wins. He
yeah,
always looks great in victory or defeat. I just was ready for him for Takeshita to win here. So I thought when Moxley got the win, I felt a little deflated, but I still think it was probably the match of the night. I mean, MJF and Hangman was really, 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 really good. Probably deserves an honorable mention. I I think the problem for me is that I feel like even though yes, I mean we've been there and done that with all these guys. I feel like with the Texas death match, we've been there and done that. It feels like it's almost getting to be too much. Like, I understand it's Hangman's signature thing, but it's like, what is this, the fourth or fifth one now? Like, I mean, it's supposed to
fourth or
be,
fifth, yeah,
extremely special. And I get, at least they're not doing it every day, so they haven't, whatever. But it's like,
right,
I don't know. Like, so in that regard, yeah, I'm going to go with Takeshita and Moxley as well, even though I was a little disappointed in the outcome. I still think overall, you know, when you really boil it down to it, I think it was probably the best match of the night.
yeah. Yeah, 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 no, I get it. And Texas Jeff, it was good, but like you said, it really is like this is AEW. This is a problem of their own making, where it's just like, where do y'all go? Y'all been do Texas Death, Anarchy in the Arena, cut, Stadium Stampede, Blood and Guts. It really is like all of the hardcore matches. It's like I wonder for like people who are watching ECW, is like when did y'all finally get tired of the tables breaking or the tables on fire or someone bleeding out, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's like even though
yeah,
y'all do this regularly, some stuff should be sparingly. Some stuff should be treated like Hell in a Cell, where it's just like a blood feud. This is the end of it. Texas Death. Like it should feel like that, or and to the point, like I said, it was of importance because of if Heyman loses, he doesn't challenge
right,
for the championship anymore. But it is still
right.
like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am surprised with that stipulation that Hangman lost, but it just means to me that he'll either be champion, for he'll either hold another belt or something will happen where he'll have the opportunity again at some point. There's no way he's never going to wrestle for that title again. So, um, but
So
so if you had to give it a grade and give the pay per view a grade
um,
on winner's circle.
it was a solid B. I give it a solid B. Like I said, wrestling wise, it was a fantastic time. It was a fantastic time. It was all enjoyable. I just like I just wasn't like I don't know what I need. I need more of a oh my gosh, I want someone to get their behinds whooped as of right now. Like right now, just good wrestling for me is not enough. I need a better story. I need something more invested. Like whoop his, like that part. Real quick. Um, Another match. Uh, Brody versus Swerve. Kenny returns. That was good. I again, it's like we get it. Swerve should have won because he's gonna do the thing with Kenny, but it is like Brody could have won too. That was the thing. It's just like you're. That's why I mean by predictable. Everything was serviceable. Everything was like definitely done to promote the next rivalries and feud. But it's like we were so close with Brody. And like I said, it's not like he's gonna fall off the face of the earth. But it is like, what do we do with Brody after this, though? Like, what do we do after Brody? Because, like I said, we're definitely gonna do Swerve and Kenny next. So what does Brody do after? So it's just like
Yeah, I'm nervous for Brody King. I'm not sure what his future looks like at this point. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I hope that they continue to push him and put him in big matches, but at some point he's got to win some big matches too. So, if you want
yeah,
him to be in that scene, right? I mean, I guess he could just be a guy in that scene that takes losses, but that's not what I want for him. So, I'd rather
hmm,
see him on a lower level getting wins than at the main event level just taking losses, if that makes sense. So, um,
yeah.
no, I thought overall it was good. I mean, Omega's back. That's Omega's back. I mean, he's already been back, right? I mean, to say that Kenny Omega returned, he's been returned to a certain extent, right? I
He's
mean,
back from playing video games in Canada. I can believe y'all let
so
him do that.
so I mean, as far as Kenny Omega returning, it wasn't like it was, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Swerve and Omega should be fun. Listen, AEW has a bit of an issue, right? AEW seems to have by far the best wrestlers on the planet, right? Their
Yeah,
roster is unmatchable at the moment. However, they still miss something in production and spectacle. They have an issue with creating
yeah,
that what feels like that super really big moment. They haven't had
yeah.
what I would call a WrestleMania moment or even show to yet to this extent. I mean, I know Double or Nothing, they try to do that. I know Revolution's supposed to be a big show. None of them feel like, I mean, to be fair, WrestleMania's lost a little bit of its luster, but in the last 5 years or so. But what WrestleMania is and what it means, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
AEW doesn't have something like that yet. They haven't done. It feels like they need to do something to make everything just feel bigger in general. I don't know if that's storylines. I don't know if it's better production. I'm not sure what it is, but they need to do something to make it feel bigger and more important because they have the best wrestlers on the planet. I mean, you're putting together the best matches that you could possibly put together. It needs to have a bigger spectacle around it somehow.
Like they have come close. My personal time where they got close with Revolution 2021, where it debuted Adam Copeland, Adam Cole, and Brian Danielson. I think that was probably, and then it was no. Oh no, sorry, Revolution 2022, where it was CM Punk's first match against Darby, and then it was Moxley versus Danielson, but William Regal came out and they're like BC Blackpool Combat Club. I think probably that was probably like the closest one to Revolution, and then Wembley or sorry, all in. It's getting close to that as well, where it's just like you said, it really is a matter of going with the best rivalry and putting it first. Like last year's Revolution, if y'all would have just put Mariah May and versus Time with Tony Storm last, that probably would have been your closest WrestleMania moment. Where it's just like, I just need y'all to get this pay-per-view card sorted out. Like you have the matches, but I just need you to find the spacing for it. And yeah,
I mean,
better, yeah, feuds.
like AEW, even though we're going on what year 6 now, or 8, I
It,
guess 19,
yeah,
19, so 8 years. It feels like sometimes we're still getting our legs underneath. They're still getting their legs underneath them. It feels like they're still learning how to run sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
a
It's
little
like
bit.
they're not
Yeah,
totally sure. What they want to do all the time, what they want to be, those kind of things. I think, give it another 5 or 10 years and it'll probably be hopefully it'll be the spectacle that I want it to be. Let's see. For this card, you gave it a B. A B is a
I'm a
solid
bit.
score.
Yeah,
You could go probably, yeah, maybe a B minus. I think B's a solid score. I like B. I'll go with you. I'll agree with you on B. There was nothing terribly atrocious. There were a couple filler matches, even though they were good, they didn't need to be there, but there was nothing terribly atrocious. And everything ultimately, when it really boils down to, was solid. I guess the only thing that could be somewhat atrocious may have been the very opening match of the 0 hour with the Boom, whatever, and QT Marshall and those guys. But again, it is what it is. We know Tony loves to have 18 matches on a pay per view, and he likes to tries to apparently give everybody an opportunity, right? So, I think B's a
yeah.
solid score. I think it was a very solid pay per view. What do you think? What would you like to see come from Revolution? Like now, what's the next big thing for you? Is it Omega Swerve? Is it Osprey Moxley? Is it FTR Christian Cage? I mean, versus Cage and Copeland. What do you think is the next big story for the next few months coming out of Revolution? It's gonna, be the main storyline, or
So
that you're
more
most interested
so
in.
interested. Okay, like we have run this to the ground. We need Okada versus Takeshita. We need that to happen sooner rather than later. Stop teasing us. Stop taunting us. Let it actually. Takeshita finally leaving the Don Callis family. That needs to happen now. I thought it was gonna happen now. I thought it was gonna Revolution, where it's like, oh, okay, they beat up like either like Don Callis family gets involved and Takeshita picks a side, like something like that. But it is, but it is like, bruh, I need this match to happen now. I like, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting? Like, what are we trying to get out for? It really is like, huh? Like, let's go. Um, the other thing is, uh, who is MJF next challenger? Because
It's a huge
like, so
question.
is it going to be Swerve or is it going to be Kenny Omega? That's probably the biggest. That's why I kind of knew that Heyman wasn't going to win, because the opponents for MJF are more appetizing than the opponents for Hangman right now. It's like, oh, is it going to be Kenny? Oh, is it going to be Swerve? Oh, is it going to be Will Ospreay after he deals with Moxley? So it is like, okay, that's like, again, it makes sense, but I just need to be more surprised. And so, but that is probably more interesting. Where it's like, okay, what's next for MJF as champion?
Yeah, I like both of those. I'm ready for Takeshita and Okada. I feel like they've been dancing around that for far too long. I'm very
Yeah,
curious to see who's next for MJF. I do think you're right. I think with MJF being who he is, everybody hates him, so there's always meat on the
yeah,
bone for someone. I mean, he's got so many people that would, whereas Hangman, is ultimately to a certain extent kind of a likable guy. You have to find more opponents for him. They're not just because everybody hates MJF and he just upsets everybody, right? Like that's a
yeah.
natural storyline, right? So I think there's much more meat on the bone with him as champion. I'm very curious to see how the whole FTR uh, Cage and Copeland thing plays out. I mean,
Yeah.
they're old and it is what it is. It's kind of like I said, it feels like a nostalgia run, and it's a little bit of a on the back burner. It's not like it's a, but I'm curious to see how that plays out. I am excited to see Christian and Edge back together again. I do find that fun, um, and I'm very curious to see what happens with Will Osprey and John Moxley. I think both that should be very interesting. So lots of great stuff I think coming out. I think the next few months looks like it should be enjoyable. Lots of good things on the fire for AEW, and we'll see where all these little storylines go. Anything else you want to say about Revolution before we do some house cleaning and get out of here?
No, I think we said all. I think like for if anyone over there is listening to us, like I said, solid card. We just gotta trim the fat a little bit. And like I said, this wrestling wise, y'all have it in droves. Wrestling wise, it is where the best wrestle, but we just need a reason why to watch the wrestling. We do. We do. I need the guttural whooping. I need that feud now. I'm not sure where it's gonna come from, but I need it. I do need
I
it.
agree with that. I agree with that. All right. So, as you're with us here tonight, make sure and join us every Tuesday night for the Cookout podcast, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, where we come together and talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Come for the wrestling and stay for the chaos. On Friday nights, it's usually Anika. Sometimes Sammy joins her to watch Friday Night SmackDown starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where she watches the show in real time and gives you her real time reactions and opinions to the show. Let's see, Saturday mornings, we do, well, it's either Saturday morning or Sunday night. We'll have to see what it is this weekend. But we do Winner's Circle, we review AEW Dynamite and Collision from the days before, grade each show, and declare a winner. So we will give you a heads up whether it will be Saturday or Sunday this week by Friday. Let's say
Yes.
we'll have Anika will make the announcement on Friday Night Fights whether it'll be Saturday morning or Sunday. We'll have a decision by then. So make sure and
Yes.
tune in for Friday Night Fights so you can get the schedule for Winner Circle for this weekend. Also, if you hit that bell on the YouTube channel, you'll just get a notification when we are about to go live for the Winner Circle. So, let's see. You can we are on all the social media platforms. You can go there and check us out, interact with us on there. If you want to scan this QR code, that will take you to Linktree. From Linktree, you can get to all of our social media from one place, or you can just go to the social media platforms and check us out. We'd love to interact with you, so please come over there and check us out. We're happy to talk anything you guys want to talk about. There is an audio version of the Cookout podcast. Our fearless producer Dolores downloads the audio version and then puts it on these podcast platforms, so you guys can listen to just the audio version if you don't have time to join us live on Tuesday night, or you just want to listen to us while you're out doing your chores, driving around, whatever it is you're doing. You can always listen to us. So I think without further ado, in the great words of our fearless producer, Miss Dolores, we will cut the lights. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
That was a cookout.
Came for the wrestling, stayed for the chaos. ALWCM, Sammy, Anika.
Yeah, we cooked it up.
Workhorse Wrestling